Hey everyone, how are you guys doing today? Well, UFC 321 is on the way. There's some dud fights on the card, and there's some really solid fights too. But the one I'm interested in to see how it plays out is the other heavyweight fight. Not the heavyweight fight, the other one. I'm talking about number 2 against number 5, Alexander Volkov against Jailton Almeida. And that's where the fight prediction is going to come from today, folks. But first, please, as always, I need you to like the video. I need you to share it. Really, really, really need you guys to hit that subscribe button. And down below, you tell me what you think about this fight. Okay, so look. If we go based on just appearances, obviously that's not going to be the case, but if we went by appearance alone, Almeida wins this fight in under a minute. The guy is just a freak. He's jacked beyond belief. He's on a mini winning streak. He's on a 2-fight winning streak right now. 21 finishes, and 16 of them come in the opening round. He is a terror on the mat. 13 submission victories. Now, Drago is been there, done that, except for getting over that final hump, getting to a title fight. That's always eluded him, right? I don't want to say he's turning into one of the gatekeepers of the division. You know, I hate to say it, Derek Lewis is a gatekeeper at this point, but Drago is right behind Derek in that category. If he doesn't get over that hump soon, okay? He's 36 years old. True heavyweights get to last a little bit longer than other divisions, but time is ticking. Despite all that, he is 28 finishes in his 38 victories, 17 come in the first round, although his last one is back in 2023. It's his first fight in 10 and a half months since his split decision loss to Ciro Gane. I can see Jailton grappling the hell out of Volkov and just controlling him, murking him on the mat. But when the fight gets back to the feet, I can see it going back and forth a little bit. Now, Volkov does struggle against fighters that have superior ground games, which Jailton obviously does. Look, Curtis Blades, who is the go-between between both fighters, Curtis Blades took Volkov down and he controlled him on the mat, right? At the same time, Curtis Blades beat up Jailton Almeida, and that's something that just I can't get out of my head. Both of these guys are going to have to watch that footage of each other fighting Curtis, because that's the common denominator here, okay? I just can't get how small of a fighter Jailton Almeida turned into against Curtis Blades. It's just stuck in the head, and it's replaying in my head, so it has to replay in Almeida's head. Now, Drago is very rangy, and look, there's only a 1-inch difference in reach and height with these guys, and both of them are huge. But he fights at a higher pace, throwing lots of strikes, lots of front kicks, lots of side kicks from that kickboxing background that he has. Technically, There's no wasted movement coming from Alexander Volkov. And if I'm being honest, his defensive wrestling has improved somewhat, despite Curtis Blades controlling him. It's improved over the years. Let's just put it like that. That being said, Almeida just needs a tiny, tiny bit of space to lock in a submission, to find open room for ground and pound. Now, because there's so many finishes, there's 49 finishes in 74 fights between both of these guys. I do not at all see this fight going to the cards. This fight's going to be a finish one way or another. Okay? Unless there's something screwy going on, judges will not be needed for this fight. I can see Almeida shooting from distance, which is something that he will be able to do against Ivan Drago, against Alexander Volkov. He's going to have to look out, though, for knees up the middle, for that solid jab coming back at him. And look, he can time those takedown attempts on kicks. You know, Drago can throw a kick, and that's when Almeida can shoot it, and that's probably what's going to happen. He's not a single leg takedown guy anyways, so it doesn't really matter in close. He's at distance, he is a double leg takedown type guy. I could see him bull rushing him. Should it be reversed? Should Volkov scramble and get somewhat of an advantage on the ground, and Almeida pulls guard on him, I can still see Drago landing elbows from up top. I really can. I can see Almeida stuffing most of Drago's takedown attempts, and maybe side saddling his head and locking in a guillotine. That's a very strong possibility in this fight. It's not going to be held in close. This is not going to be a phone booth fight. This is going to be two guys throwing at distance. Okay? The closest they're going to get to each other is if they're on the ground. I'm not a fan of Almeida always calling out Tom Aspinall. I get it. He's a champ, and honestly, depending what happens with Alex Pereira and John Jones, the winner of this fight might actually get the next title shot. And if it's Drago, thank goodness that he at least gets to the hump before getting over it. Like I said, I don't like Almeida always calling out Aspinall. I get it. He's the champ, and you want to call out the champ, but there is not a decent lock, a decent, good name on Almeida's resume. There really isn't. If we're being honest about it, there's some solid fighters, yes. None of the top guys. Like I said, the only common denominator between the two is Curtis Blades. Curtis is a fair fighter, yes, but he's mid-pack. I just can't get out of my mind he throws a lot of good feints, and that gets him, that sets up his takedowns, that sets up a lot of his offense for Almeida. I don't see Volkov biting on too many of them. I really don't. And the way he fought so small and became almost timid and tentative against Curtis, like I said, it's playing in my mind. I'm going to go out on a limb. Look, Almeida is going to be the favorite in this fight. I really believe that. I'm going to go out on a limb here. I think the fight prediction has to be Alexander Volkov. I'll go second round technical knockout. Maybe he starts pounding on him and the ref jumps in to stop it. I think that's the way this fight prediction has to go. Volkov next for a title. Like I said, it all depends on what happens with Alex and what happens with John Jones. And if that same night, if Aspinall gets past Cyril Gane. You know, Cyril very easily could beat Tom Aspinall. He is a super athletic fighter. But anyways, the fight prediction for this fight, Jailton Almeida, Alexander Volkov. I'm going Alexander Volkov, second round technical knockout. I would like to see Volkov get a title shot. Okay, guys. That's fight prediction. Kind of quick, kind of simple. Like I said, going out on a ledge here. Please like the video, share it, subscribe to the channel. Down below, you let me know who you think wins this fight. And until the next video, Cyclone saying, peace out, homies.